Uh, I was saved into the Baptist church. Whoops. And my early memories, saved at 18, straight into the Baptist church in Liverpool, the church called the People's Church. It's where Reinhard Bonnke went to as a teenager and then went to Swansea Bible College. But the pastor there always, when reading the word, we always had the reading. I think the Apostle Paul said, "Forsake not the public reading of the word." And it's good to get drunk. It's good to get intoxicated with the Spirit. It's good to roll on the floor. It's really freeing. But we are not to forget the word. We're not to forget the word. We really should have a hunger in our hearts to hear what God has got to say to us. And he would always read, ding dong, hey, hey, hey. Well, yeah, well, let's just let the wave pass. He would always read the word, the passage of scripture, and then he would say, "God bless the reading of the word." Now, it became a, what's that phrase? A coin phrase? What do we call it? Coin a phrase or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That we can get religious on things. You know, like saying grace and stuff like that. And it can just become a religious phraseology exercise, and we don't fully understand the meaning of it. But I got to understand the meaning of it. I was pastoring for 15 years. It is 15, wasn't it, Gene? Or was it 12? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Give or take a few years. I think it was 12 years. And the 10th year, and the number 10 signifies a whole. Our decimal system is in tens. The 10th year, I got drunk with the Spirit. Wonderful, wonderful time. So I had, not that the 10 years were 10 years of sober and dryness, because God was doing mighty things even in the 10 years, but I had 2 years of intoxication as a pastor. Wonderful. And all I could say when people asked me, when they would come with their problems, I would say to them, "I know nothing." I know nothing. I shrug my shoulders and go, "I know nothing." It's a wonderful place to be. Some of us are educated beyond our intelligence. That's true. We're full of head knowledge that's never been worked out. So those last 2 years drunk, actually when I first got drunk I couldn't speak. For 3.5 years I couldn't speak. In fact, I couldn't even stand. I'd have to lie on the floor or lean on the pulpit. I remember that first time speaking at Peter Jackson's church, when he had his church in Barry, and he got his mother to come for the first time, and I was the guest speaker. And I was bent. Oh, the only way I could get relief from these jerks, the jerks that we had, was to nuzzle my stomach in against the pulpit. And his mother said to Peter, "That poor boy, how long has he had this disease?" Oh, whoa! Actually, I had a pulpit on wheels. I mean, we should get pulpits on wheels. But I was drunk for those 2 years pastoring. Best years of my life. And I couldn't read the word. So I got the secretary to come out. You know, upstanding lady, Joan Simmons. Nothing shook her. You know, full gale wind could be blowing through the place and she would stand firm. Faithful woman, been in the church since the year dot. I said, Joan, come and do the reading. Come and give the reading. I can't get the words out. Come and give the reading. I gave shing, 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 boing, hey, hey. Excuse me, spiritual hiccups. So I said, Joan, come in, ding, 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 ding. You want an interpretation of that one? That's a fire engine with gasoline in it. Everything in the kingdom is upside down. He said, Joan, come and give the reading. And Joan came, gave the reading, and the Spirit of God fell on her. And she hit the deck. She hit the deck with the Bible in her hand. And she lay on the floor, still reading. And I thought to myself, what a wonderful world. I got a revelation and I thought to myself, this is what it means to be a lay reader. A lay reader lying on the floor, reading the word of the Lord. Ding, 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 ding. Now this is my last night, so I've behaved myself so far. I'll have another drink. Cheers. Good health. We're in a church in Chicago, and her name is Grace, the teddy bear. She's drunk. We're in a church in Chicago. It's wonderful to be intoxicated with the Spirit. It's wonderful. It feels like you're flying without wings. Wonderful to be free from the fear of man. Really revolutionizes my ministry. So I was in this shop, Do you know what I'm doing when I do that? Do you know what I'm doing when I wing? Have you ever read that scripture? I'm releasing angels. What do you mean, bro? Where's the scripture? Well, it says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels. Now, if God gives you a tongue of angels, then it's to talk to angels. If he gives you an African tongue, it's to talk to Africans. Gives you a Japanese tongue, it's to talk to Japanese. But we're in this church in Chicago. And you know, God has revolutionized the altar calls. I see them now as drink lines. Not prayer lines, drink lines. And so we had a drink line, and there was a nun, N-U-N, nun, not non, nun, came out to the front. And I was intoxicated with the Spirit. And the Spirit's, when you're intoxicated, all you do really is repeat what you hear the Spirit say. And sometimes he sings to me in the middle of the preaching. See, again, that is a mindset that we have. Well, don't disturb the preaching. But God did disturb the preaching when Peter was preaching. Came right in the middle of the message, disturbed it. And I heard the song, "The hills are alive with the sound of music. La, 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 la." And I had this nun standing in front of me. So I took her hands and I stretched her arms out and I sang to her, "The hills are alive." In the spirit I saw this lady was 70 years something, plus 70. 76, something like that. I didn't see the nun. In the spirit I saw Julie Andrews. And so I sang to this nun and I stretched her hands out and she had a smile from here to here. And I sang to her, "The hills are alive with the sound of music." And she went over to Jean afterwards. "Shing, shing, shing, boing, hey, hey, hey." She went to Jean afterwards and she said, "Hey, hey, hey." No, she didn't say that. Boing, hey, hey, hey. By the way, hey is the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It means to invoke God's creative power. It's the same little word that he used when he changed Abraham's name. See, if you have understanding on the manifestations, they're not crazy when you understand the meaning. When you get the revelation, they're not crazy. She went over to Jean and she said to Jean, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." I'm trying, Jean. I'm trying my best, Jean. Ground control, ground control. Ground control, we're losing you, we're losing you. Oh, we're flying too high. Oh, no oxygen getting to the brain. Oh, forgive me. Forgive me. Those of you that are on a time schedule, forget the time. Forget the time because it takes so long to get the story out when you're drunk. She went over to Jean and she said, "Hey, hey, hey!" She said, "Ding dong!" Oh, hey! Whoa! She said those immortal words I've never forgotten, but can't get them out. She said to Jean, "I've waited all my life for this. 50-odd years." I always get this mixed up, Jean. Is it the monastery, the nunnery, wherever they live? She felt like she'd just come alive. She'd been dead for 50 years in the nunnery. Isn't that strange, church, in the convent? Isn't that strange, church? Those of you that wonder, is it okay to sing secular? Is it okay to sing secular? Listen, you sing what God gives you to sing. Our sister shared that tonight about, you know, the trouble with the church? We've been putting the wrong bait on the hook. We want to put hamburgers on when fish